Hello friends, Music Man from upstairs. My man cave was flooded. I'm going to give you an update on how that happened. There's two types of basements, ones that leak and ones that are going to leak. And so I was due for a leak and it happened. There it is. So I just want to share right now, I've done a lot more research on this. I've had a lot of people question me on, do you really know what you're talking about with the Social Security? I believe Social Security is going to be bankrupt. It's not going to be there for me. So I want to clarify that. The truth about Social Security coming at you right now. So friends, what is Social Security? Well, Social Security is actually an insurance. When FDR instituted it back with the New Deal in 1935, it was an insurance. So if you had something bad happen to you, or you went into retirement and your pension fell through, or your company went bankrupt or whatever, you had Social Security to fall back on. So it's still an insurance. Let me explain to you. I see it like an annuity. And if you need me to explain an annuity for you, just ask down below and I'll explain it in detail. Basically, you're putting money in and they're guaranteeing you, kind of guaranteeing you, a certain income for life. So if I went to Allstate Insurance and said, I want $1,000 starting at 70 years old till I'm 90, they would have me pay a certain amount in with fees to be able to have that $1,000 kick in when I'm 70 till I'm 90. So, how exactly does this work? So we pay into Social Security, and when we retire, Social Security is like an annuity. We get a certain amount. They guesstimate the amount based on our how many years we work and our the top earnings of those years. So, is Social Security broke? No. Is Social Security going to go away? No. I'll lay it out for you. First of all, there are several ways that Social Security can be fixed, if it even needs fixing. It's a political maneuver that politicians use to scare you half to death, to make you think that it's going to go bankrupt, you're not going to have anything there, and you're going to starve and be thrown out in the street. It's not true. It's an easy fix. The most sensible fix is more revenue. How does that happen? Well, right now in the 80s, the top amount that could be taxed, it is a tax. It's an insurance tax. It is not an entitlement. Sorry, it's not a savings account. I'd compare it to an annuity. There's not some bank vault somewhere with all this money in it. That's not how it works. I pay into Social Security right now, and it goes out and it goes to people that right now need it. That's how it works. Okay, so back to 3 ways it can be fixed. Number 1, more revenue. How does that happen? Well, right now the cutoff is $108,500. It used to be an $80-something thousand. Why do they have that cutoff? Well, because they'll have to pay 6.2% to people that are contributing $150,000, which will put potentially additional strain on the system in the future. So they're reluctant to do that, but I see that that's coming, and people will be getting more from that annuity in the future. The second way to fix it is to raise taxes. Okay, people don't like to hear that, but if they even raise taxes 2 or 3%, it's 6.2% right now, you wouldn't really see it out of your paycheck very much, and it would fix it till the year 2075. And so taxes can be raised. And worst case scenario is how they will fix it is they will lower your benefit. In other words, you'll only get 79%. If they did nothing right now till the year 2037, we would drop down to being able to only get 79% of our benefit. So since I plan probably to wait, it depends. I'll take it at 62 if things are going real well. But if I decide I want more money from this annuity, I might wait till 70 if people start to live longer and the age at which people are dying goes up, which it seems to be going up. When Social Security insurance first started, the average person didn't even make it to 65, so they never collected. So you're going to hear a lot of these scary stories about the crisis that we're in, that we're not going to make it, that Social Security is bankrupt. It can't go bankrupt. It's not, this doesn't work that way. Okay? It doesn't work that way. Basically, what they're talking about is people paying in. The government got their greedy fingers on it, and they took away the surplus. But there's still a surplus until a certain time. I think it's until 2033 or something like that. So you hear a lot of scare tactics, a lot of stories about how Social Security, it's the end of Social Security as we know it, we're doomed, so forth. But no, Social Security has to be there. And there's a lot of reasons it has to be there. Number one, we are a country that will not allow the safety net to be dismantled by the government so that people, once again, in their senior years don't even have food or shelter or transportation. Okay, and that's another thing to talk about at another time, is how the poor in this country really are not that poor. Okay, so that's not going to happen. Or someone that's not even their fault. They get in a severe car accident and they're at fault and they get bankrupted, or they get critically injured and healthcare system bankrupts them, which is not beyond possibility. Social Security is to be there to help you be able to live just at the poverty level so that you can survive. And that's really what it is. It's kind of survivor benefit. It's an insurance for the worst case scenario. Now, does that mean you should rely only on Social Security when you retire? Absolutely not. That is insanity. Okay, I say diversify. And when I say diversify, I don't mean in a stock market portfolio. I mean have a 401k, have your pension, have a 403b, have a Roth IRA, and have Social Security in your retirement, and you should have a comfortable retirement. Now, relying on Social Security alone is a mistake, because it will be there, but I laid out the scenarios for you. Most likely what will happen, it will have to be a bipartisan thing. The Democrats, Republicans, or whoever's there in the future will have to get together, and they will have to make a decision to make adjustments. Not a fix. It doesn't really need to be fixed. Adjustments to it so that it proceeds onward. And also, good news, and not for the baby boomers, but the baby boomers will die. And in that 20-year span, it's going to be stressed. But when the baby boomers do die, and then the Generation Xers and millennials and whatever, there's less population. Okay? So it will level out. Now, you're not going to hear any of this from politicians. Politicians, their job is about fear. And I told you, when you hear someone screaming from the mountaintop, be afraid, they're talking fear. Fear is future events appearing real. Future events appearing real. Social Security is going to be there. It just will. It has to be. If it's not, I can tell you, no one's going to want it to go be destroyed or dismantled, and I'll tell you why. Do you really want those desperate people in the streets coming to your house, for shelter, for food, whatever? 44% right now of seniors depend on it, and that's supposed to rise. People depending on Social Security. Why? Because unlike me, they're not putting money in their 401k. They're not investing into a 403b, which is a government 401k. And they're not saving anything. They're buying trucks and cars and RVs and jet skis and big speedboats and any other kind of junk they can. Saying, I'm going to live today, and not realizing that person in the future is them. And if you want to have a good golden years, then you have to put some money aside. Anyway, if you have any questions, ask them below. I'll answer them. And I want to talk to you about, how did the blood flood in my basement happen? Was it the infamous shark bite malfunction? We'll talk about it. Take care.